Cedar Bay was once a seaside town defined by warmth and simple joys. Neighbors greeted each other on the boardwalk, the smell of salt water drifted through open windows, and families gathered on docks to watch fishing boats return at dusk. Yet everything changed when a ferocious hurricane swept through, leaving a scarred wasteland in its path. Streets became channels of dark, stagnant water. Houses collapsed under the storm's wrath. Telephone poles leaned at desperate angles, and all around rose the echoes of loss and uncertainty. Amid the debris, a man named Charlie Lawson wanders with heavy steps. He is 35, tall but slouched in posture, weighed down by regret. Long ago, he was a firefighter who charged into burning buildings without a second thought. Then came the day he failed to save a child trapped in a blaze. The guilt devoured him, turning him into a restless drifter, convinced that caring only leads to heartbreak. He left Cedar Bay, vowing never to return, yet here he is, back in the ruins of the town he once called home, walking across splintered wood and twisted metal. Through the silence, he hears a faint whimper. He stops. Beneath debris is a tiny Labrador mix puppy, barely 6 weeks old, shivering in the cold. Its fur is caked in mud, its little body too weak to stand. A collar tag dangles from its neck, the name almost erased but still visible enough to read, Shadow. Something in Charlie's chest tightens, a long dormant instinct to protect. Without hesitation, he scoops up the trembling puppy, pressing it gently to his chest to share a bit of warmth. He has no plan, no supplies, and no idea how to save this fragile life. Yet he knows he must try. He trudges through the flooded streets, searching for help. Cars lie abandoned, homes are half submerged, personal belongings float by like lost memories. Overturned furniture, broken glass, and torn photographs mix with the muddy water. In the heart of town, he finds what remains of a community center turned makeshift shelter. Its doors hang askew, windows taped over to keep out the elements. Inside, volunteers and survivors huddle together. Some are injured, some are grieving, and all seem haunted by the storm's aftermath. Maggie Torres, 29, stands among the volunteers, directing people to supplies and offering gentle reassurances. She appears exhausted, her eyes have dark circles, and her hair is pulled into a messy ponytail. Yet her warmth endures, shining in the calm authority of her voice. She approaches Charlie and sees the feeble puppy in his arms. Immediately, she rushes to find blankets, rummaging through bins of donated goods. While strangers whisper about how meager their resources are, Maggie simply says, "Let's do what we can." She wraps the puppy in towels and dribbles water from a syringe into its mouth. Charlie watches her, overwhelmed by memories of how once he too was the person who ran forward to help. Maggie's compassion stirs something inside him. He doesn't speak much, only offering his name and a short explanation. "I found him under the rubble, didn't know where else to go." Quietly, Maggie thanks him for saving the dog, then asks if he'll look for bandages and disinfectant among the supplies. She needs a second pair of hands. Unsure why, he nods. Days pass. Charlie remains in the shelter, helping with repairs, distributing food rations, and warding off minor scuffles that erupt from stress and desperation. Shadow, once barely clinging to life, grows a little stronger each day. The puppy nuzzles into Charlie's side, wags a feeble tail, and finds moments of playful curiosity. Children at the shelter gravitate toward the small dog, their eyes lighting up at any reminder that not all hope is lost. As time moves slowly, Charlie's guilt claws at him. When he closes his eyes, he sees the face of the child he couldn't save, hears the crackling flames, and feels again the suffocating smoke. His heart tightens with the same despair he's carried for years. He tells himself saving one puppy doesn't erase that failure. Even so, each time Shadow snuggles into him, he feels a pang of something like hope. Maggie senses the weight Charlie carries. Though he never discusses the specifics, she knows what regret and pain look like. Outside the shelter, she confides in him about her own journey, how she once felt lost, how a selfless stranger helped her turn life around. "We get more than one chance," she says one evening, while a faint lantern glow flickers across the makeshift cots. "That's the only reason I'm here, to pass on the second chance I was given." Her words lodge in Charlie's mind. Meanwhile, Cedar Bay's problems grow deeper than floodwaters and building collapse. Rumors spread of a man named Hank Mercer, a scavenger profiting from the town's misery. Hank once fished these waters but